everyone. Good morning and welcome to the Real Prosperity Project. My name is Tanisha Tearing and this is
Frankie.
Yes, we have no Charlene today. So instead we have my dear friend and a new face to the podcast, Frankie Scharft. And she is up in northern BC with me. So with the Real Prosperity Project, we are here to talk about how prosperity encompasses in all areas of life, more than just financial freedom. It includes emotional, physical, social, and spiritual well-being. And we're here to share our journeys, our wins, our losses, how you can find prosperity in those losses, and just help foster a belief of abundance and then help you to help others do so. So that's what we're here for. And I'm super excited that Frankie is able to join me today in person. We've never done this before. Yeah. Our podcast has always been on the Zoom call, which is crazy.
Yeah.
So this is an exciting turn of events. So, Frankie, you're brand new to this world.
Yes.
Say hello to our viewers and listeners.
Hello. I'm very, very nervous to be here, but I'm very excited because it's getting me out of my comfort zone. So I'm actually really excited that we're doing this. And although I'm nervous, I'm ready for it to flow. So,
yay!
Yeah.
So this is awesome. Frankie is new to our agency, actually. I've mentioned our agency a few times. And how sometimes it just aligns for people to join us. So she is actually in training. And we have spent a lot of time together over the last couple of weeks.
We have.
And we've grown a really strong friendship through doing so.
Yeah.
So tell our listeners a little bit about you and how you got here. And I'm sure they'd love to hear it.
Well, my name's Frankie and I'm originally from Abbotsford. And so I'm new to northern BC. This is my first winter up here. I'm loving it so far. It's really good. But pretty much everything aligned for us for moving up here. Isaiah and I always talked about wanting to leave the lower mainland and, head out somewhere. We didn't know where, but somewhere. And I saw my landlord make a post and I spammed him. And I didn't even know where McBride was, right? And I just saw the post and I spammed him and I got a hold of him. He's a great man. We still talk, and that is my new landlord. And it happened so perfectly, so quick. It happened within 2.5, 3 months. It happened really quick. My family was very shocked for me to be leaving. And so it's been about, I think, 7 months now that I've been up here. And it's been really good so far. So
that's awesome. What is your favorite part about moving north so far?
Probably there's a few things. So one of my favorite things is not having certain things so accessible to us, including like fast food or restaurants or the movie theaters or the malls, because I think that, I don't know, it gives you a really good life just living more simple. And living a simpler life is really good for your soul. Yeah. It's a huge difference, and it's just really nice. So, and then my second thing, which is pretty much the first thing too, is the mountains. It's the mountains, because it's been all our time outside. You guys, you should see what it looks like out here.
Oh my goodness.
It's amazing.
It is beautiful.
Yeah.
You know what we should do? We should do a podcast outside one day.
We should.
Walking through the wilderness and just carrying the laptop and being like, this is where we live and this is why we love it.
And then every 2 seconds it's going to be like, oh, deer poop.
That would be so fun. We should.
We
should do an outdoor episode.
It would.
I think we'd feel really grounded too.
We would. That's how we relax out here, okay? For us, relaxing, we need to get outside. We have this beautiful, beautiful place to explore. And it's just not the same as sitting in a spa. This is different. It's the same thing, but it just hits you different.
It does hit you different.
It does.
I totally agree. Yeah. Now, it is quite the temperature difference here.
It is.
Compared to the coast.
It is.
So I personally am so used to it.
Yeah.
That I don't even notice. Even if I go to visit down in the coast, I'm just like, oh, it's a beautiful spring day. In the dead of winter.
Yeah.
But what have you found challenging about the change in temperature?
I'm actually okay with the change in temperature. I got rid of my car. I don't even have a car here. So when my husband's out of town, I'm walking with the kids everywhere, groceries, school, and the town isn't very big, but we're still doing it.
Yeah.
And, I just wrap myself up. I layer up. I think layers are very important. And it hasn't stopped me from doing things that I want to do. Yeah. I'm still going outside. We're starting a fire. We're still sitting out there. We're still enjoying the outdoors. But I have heard that it does reach to negative 40 out here. It does. And it hasn't this year yet. So I think the most it's been is like negative 25. So it's a stretch to negative 40. So ask me again when it's negative 40.
Okay, well, fingers crossed to you viewers and listeners out there that we don't hit negative 40 because it is a shit show when that happens. I'm not even joking. It hit negative 46 here one year. I was in Edmonton. It was negative 49 there with a wind chill of minus 57. And my car, my poor car.
Yeah.
But my husband was sending me pictures of actually this office, the window that's behind the camera. There was ice, like thick layer of ice going up the window, the whole thing, because the heat from the house was melting the cold air and it was causing freezing condensation. Like, insane.
That's insane. And see, I have not hit that level yet. I think negative 25 is bearable. Like, it's okay. Like, it's cold. You got to layer up, but it's nothing like that.
Yeah.
That's a little crazy.
Yeah. And I do have to say, like, being on the coast, minus 5 feels way colder than minus 25 up here.
That is true.
Because it's a different kind of cold. It's like, it's not dry cold. It's wet cold and it goes to your bones.
Yes. And some people don't understand that phrase, wet cold, dry cold. And I didn't either until I moved here. And then I'm like, oh, this is a dry cold.
It's really totally different.
Yeah.
It's like a dry heat. So I've been to Vegas and that was a dry heat. Right. It's like walking into a sauna.
Yes.
Whereas I was in Texas and that was like walking into a steam room and that was way different.
I've never experienced that. So that's something one day.
And you're just like, you're sticky.
Right.
Right? Versus, I can just jump in some cold water and cool off and I'm better.
Yeah.
Whereas with the wet heat, the like humidity, no.
Wow, that's insane. That's something that actually I do want to go visit down south, somewhere hot, tropical. But yeah, that's definitely something that will be weird when you walk off the plane and you're like, whoa, and it hits you like a wall, right?
Yeah. When I was traveling, actually, I prepared just seeing people online actually go from hot to cold.
Right.
And I was like, you know what? I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pack a sweater and I'm going to wear my summer clothes onto the plane and just be cold getting onto the plane.
Right?
Because when I get off, I don't want to be in sweatpants and a sweatshirt.
That's smart. I always wondered. I actually thought in my head before of like, what do people do if they're leaving from Vancouver and it's super cold and they're going to like somewhere hot like Mexico? Do they dress warm or cold on the plane?
You want to dress like you want to be cold on the plane because it is like a smack in the face.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Just like the reverse.
Yeah.
Always pack your warm woolies for on your way home.
Right. True. That is a good advice.
That's awesome. Yeah. So at the beginning of this, we talked a little, you mentioned perfect timing. And that's kind of like what I wanted to talk about here on the podcast today is that's a huge prosperous mindset.
Yeah.
Is just having total faith in whatever you believe in. Okay. So it doesn't matter what your faith or your spirituality, it's having total faith that whatever is meant to be is going to work out. And correct me if I'm wrong, but that's what you meant by perfect timing.
Absolutely. That is what I meant. And it's not something I always believed in. I do think that it's a mentality and it's the way you think. So if you think that, for instance, I'll use it as an example, okay? I have an example of what I'm saying. So I failed my test 2 times, right? Yeah. And if I was sitting there just thinking like, I'm not going to do it, I'm not going to do it, I'm not going to do it. Like, why is this happening to me? Instead of, thinking like, okay, third time's the charm, everything happens for a reason. Like, just continually saying that in my head. Yeah. And then today, third time's the charm. I passed my test.
Yes.
Everything happens for a reason. Do I know the reason? Well, when I think in my head, I'm like, well, I needed to learn things before I passed this test. I needed to know the proper definitions. I needed to actually understand what I was reading.
Yeah.
Right? And that was the perfect timing for me. So
yeah. That's amazing. And you know why I was thinking about that a lot, actually, during my physio appointment right before this, it was perfect timing. And you did need to learn that because you came into business and I believe at perfect timing. Like it flowed so easily and so quickly and everything has it's been so cohesive. There's been no roadblocks, like walls, other than the failing of the test.
Right.
But I think you were meant to learn all of that.
Yeah.
Because you weren't here for a season.
Yeah.
You're here for a reason.
Right.
This is your purpose.
Yes.
And I totally believe that when you get aligned with your purpose, everything happens. And you're not a world-class winger. You're going to be a master at this.
Yes.
You're going to change a lot of lives.
And this is why I needed to learn everything. I can't just go through this not knowing, right? No. And so for me, everything happens for a reason. I'm happy I didn't pass on the first test because guess what? I wouldn't know anything. I'd move on to the next chapter without knowing actually what I needed to know. Yeah. Yeah. So... Yeah. That was, even though it was hurting on my soul a little bit, just a little bit, I still knew everything happened for a reason. So yeah.
And that is that perfect timing mindset. Like yesterday, my example of perfect timing is my father is on a new pain medication for his fractured pelvis and hip that he had from a workplace injury. Oh my goodness, I can talk, I swear. Anyway, maybe we'll cut that part. No, I'm just kidding. I keep it real. I never cut anything, actually. I just keep it real and raw for our viewers.
Sometimes when we're being passionate, the words just come out real quick.
Quick. Yeah. So with my father, he had a hip replacement and it was a failed surgery. So the implant is actually loose in his femur. And you can imagine, if you can picture that, how painful that would be. So he's on a new pain medication and he can't drive on it. But he had to take his car 2.5 hours north to get fixed because that's how remote we live. And he needed help driving it. So I got up 4 a.m., drove out there for 5 a.m., parked my truck, picked his car up, and we drove to Prince George and back. And dropped off the car and picked up a rental. And I was really, really concerned about the timing of it because I actually had an appointment with Frankie and a client at 11:30. And I was like, okay, this is a 2.5 hour drive in the summer. It's winter conditions. It could be bad. We don't know. And I thought, you know what? Why am I thinking about all the worst possible case scenarios? Why don't I focus on the good and just have that faith? Right. Have that faith that everything's going to work in perfect timing. Everything's going to flow smoothly. The roads are going to be great. And as I started to think that, everything literally fell into place. And I ended up being back at Frankie's for that appointment at like 11:09.
Yeah, I think you were like 15 minutes early.
Yeah.
You made it on time. We had some time to chill.
I had time to breathe and get a glass of water and go to the washroom. And it was great. And then actually I looked at my watch or my phone and it was 11:11. Okay. Yep. And I am a huge believer in angel numbers, and totally like getting signs and just being guided. And that is the second time in the last 2 weeks that Frankie and I have seen 11:11 while working together. Yeah. And then what was really incredible is we had a great appointment. Would you agree?
Yes, it was a really good appointment. It was a great appointment. That made my day so good having that appointment. Yeah, it was good.
Yeah. So the potential client really just resonated with everything we're saying. And she said, this is perfect timing. She said those words, like the exact words. And I was like, oh my God, it really is perfect timing.
Yeah.
And we were so happy about it. And then the client actually posted something thanking Frankie and I for our time. She was just so ecstatic about the value that we brought to her.
Yeah.
that she posted something and Frankie texted me
Yeah.
at 1:11.
Yeah, that's so
and
weird.
She didn't even notice.
Yeah, I didn't notice because I'm not a numbers girl yet. Like my grandma always was, and she was a numbers girl, but I'm not. I know 11:11. I always say to the kids, 11:11, make a wish. But the 111, what is going on? What is going on? It's like, honestly,
I don't know. Actually, I'm gonna bring this up because I brought this up for Frankie yesterday. As soon as she said that, I picked up the phone and I was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah,
I was like, "Seriously, you gotta watch this."
I know, that's really weird.
Yeah, or you gotta look at this. Like, what time did you send that to me at? And she was totally blown away. And I am too. Like, so the angel number, here it is. I'm just gonna read it to you guys. Don't judge my reading. So the angel number is a powerful, 111 angel number is a powerful, highly spiritual symbol, often interpreted as a sign of alignment, awakening, and rapid manifestation. Seeing 11:11 is considered a message to focus on the positive thoughts as they are rapidly turning into reality. It serves as a reminder to remain present, mindful, and trust that you are on the right path.
That's amazing.
That hit me so hard.
Yeah.
I was like, this is like a cosmic thumbs up. Like, it doesn't matter what you believe in.
Yeah.
This is guidance. This is you're manifesting, you're creating. And so you have to, in these moments, when you start to see all of this stuff combine and compound, you have to just buckle down and do more of it.
Yeah.
Because it's happening.
It's true. It's just really weird that it adds in there the manifesting, because I shit you not, I have only been manifesting every single day, just saying good things, good thoughts out into the universe that I want to happen to me and my life and my partner, like everybody, my friends, my family. And it's all starting to slowly come along. And, you know, I have been a little bit closer. I wasn't before, but I am getting a little bit closer to God and starting to pray. And it's really weird because I wasn't a believer before. Like you said, no matter what you believe, it's just weird that this is all happening now. The numbers, the manifestations that I say in my head are coming true.
Yeah.
Like they are coming true.
They are.
Yeah. And it's really weird.
And this all comes, we have had this conversation many, many times on our podcast about the mental gym and the focus and what you think about, you bring about. And you can go back to previous episodes. We have one with Chad Thompson as the a guest speaker, and we called that episode the mental gym. It's really good. I'd go back and give it a listen because it talks about how it's actually a practice. You don't just, you said it's weird, but it's years of training your thoughts, training your mind, and having that ability to exercise those positive thoughts. Do you feel like it came to you naturally, or was it something you had to practice?
No, I definitely feel like it was something that I needed to practice. And especially after having my second child, Sophia, I was just going through major postpartum. It hit me really bad. And then, you know, I got my job in sales. So that was about a year after she was born. And that kind of started changing things for me, working in sales and just, I don't know, listening to people that are very motivational and, you know, just celebrating your wins. And I definitely had to train myself 100%. I had to pull myself out of the funk. I had to start telling myself, stop thinking the bad thoughts and only think of the good. Could you imagine if I just lived my whole life thinking bad thoughts and nothing good? Like, it's really like, I know some people it comes naturally, but some people do have to train themselves, like myself, and it didn't happen overnight. So it's the littlest things that you can start off by just saying, you know, nice things to yourself. I even have something on my bathroom mirror for the kids, and it was just affirmations. Right? I want my kids to say these things, and it's good for the soul. It's good for the heart. It's good for your brain. It really is. It alters it 100%.
Yeah, 100% it does. Yeah. And that's exactly what this podcast is about. It's about breeding that positivity in your brain, practicing thinking positively, even in the negative situations.
Yeah.
It is so important.
Yeah.
Because you can create anything. You are a very powerful being.
It's true.
And when you focus on the negative and you think about the negative over and over and over and over again, you're gonna get more of the negative.
Yeah.
You need to focus on the positive outlook and train yourself to find the prosperity, which is exactly what we're here to talk about, in the situation, so that you can breed more of that positivity, that prosperity, that abundance, that great thinking. And it compounds.
It does.
And something that I'm recently learning is it actually comes down to several different things affect that. What the heck are you listening to? Okay. What are you putting in your brain? I was a firm fiction person. I loved fiction. I loved vampire books, and nothing wrong with them. They're great. But I was filling my brain with nothing but that. There was no positivity going in. Yeah. And then I started thinking, okay, well, why don't I listen to entrepreneurial books? Why don't I listen to some mindset books? Why don't I find a book? I was dealing with clutter issues. I'm still a little bit of a clutter bug. I come by it genetically, I'm telling you. But I'm dealing with it. And that's because I read a book. I listened to a book that was on decluttering your space.
Yeah.
And it helped. And so when you surround your brain with all these positive inputs, right? When you listen to good things, it starts to affect how you think. And you need to surround yourself with positive people and positive environments. So if you're sitting there right now and you hate your freaking job and you're like, fuck, my boss tells me to do this and all I want to do is punch him in the face. Well, that means that you're not surrounding yourself in a positive environment, and life is too freaking short. Move to something you do like.
Yeah.
Because no matter where you put your attention, if you put it there, it's going to be successful. Whether that's you have an idea for a new clothing line, go do it. Go put all of your focus there and go do it. Because as long as you're fulfilling something that makes you happy, more of it will follow.
Yeah, I agree. I actually, one of the things that I did pretty recently is I changed my algorithm on my Instagram. Okay? Because I will admit, I do scroll on my downtime. Sometimes I am scrolling.
I think we all do.
Yeah, and you know what? I wasn't watching things that were benefiting me at all. Okay, so I changed my algorithm. I started liking more creators that are just, motivational or healthy recipes or fitness. That's another thing too. And easy workouts and stuff like that. So instead now of scrolling through just dumb shit, honestly. Just dumb stuff. Now I'm looking at people that, are putting good thoughts in my own head.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm not just doom scrolling and not getting anything out of it. So yeah, that is something recently that I did change was my Instagram.
Yeah. And that, pardon me, that is a big part of a lot of people's day to day is we end up getting into that doom scroll.
Yeah.
And what is your feed filling your thoughts with?
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's great.
So my whole feed is different now. And I do feel like it has affected me in a good way.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
It is. Yeah.
Something that you kind of skipped over, but I loved what you said was physical activity. How impactful can even just getting up and going for a 10-minute walk be for your mental health?
It's really impactful. It really is. And yesterday I took a walk in the morning with my daughter and my dog. We did almost 7,000 steps. And we were listening to music, by the way, out loud. So I had it playing on my phone out loud. My daughter's in the stroller. She's singing. It was a great way to start off our day. Yeah. Get outside, go for a walk. Oh my gosh, it's so good. It is so good for your mental. And I never used to do that. And now I can see the difference of how impactful it is for me. Yeah. So it really is.
Now, I know that some of our viewers or listeners might have mobility issues. And I just want you to know that, if you can't physically get out and go for a walk, you've got to somehow figure out how to move your body. Like whether that be dancing in your chair or just doing marches while you're seated, even committing to 10 minutes a day of that, or just stretching, is going to help your mindset so much too. Like right now I'm doing a 10,000 step challenge, because I feel like every single successful person that has their health and wellness in check, and you said this to me the other day too.
Yep.
Is doing some kind of fitness goal.
Yeah, they're moving their body.
They're moving their body.
Even if it's super small, they're still moving their body.
They're moving their body.
Yeah. They're still moving their body.
And so there's a group of people in our industry and our team. This is why our environment is so powerful. Is because we do these kinds of things. We cheer each other on. There's extreme amounts of recognition.
Yes.
And everybody does some kind of personal development. One of our things is if you're not growing your mind, you're not going to be growing in business. And so a lot of people are doing personal development courses or reading entrepreneurial books, or they're doing physical challenges like this where there's an accountability on our WhatsApp, and that's probably what's dinging over there. So sorry. Everybody's doing 10,000 steps a day or more. And it's really encouraging.
It is.
To see these successful leaders in our industry still doing this growth.
Yeah, it is. Another thing I wanted to talk about too, that is really good for the mental, if you can't get outside, if you can't move your body, or if you can do limited stuff, I feel like sitting outside, just breathing in the fresh air. I used to do that in the summer. I don't right now. It is freezing. I'm not going to sit on my deck. But one thing I loved doing was going outside in the morning with my journal and having my cup of coffee outside, breathing in the air and writing something in my journal and just talking about my day, or writing down my goals, or writing down affirmations, or just anything like that. It doesn't even need to be a fancy journal. You could be doodling or doing little hearts or anything, just sitting outside, getting the fresh air, writing in your journal, having your tea, your coffee. That is also very helpful for a very good day.
That's incredible. Did you hear what she said? This is why, okay, and I actually, it was Luke Belmar, I believe, and I follow him on Instagram and Facebook and TikTok, actually. And if you want some inspirational stuff that's like no bullshit, him and Daniel G, you're going to love it. But he said that if you write down your goals, you are 100 times more likely to hit those goals, and only like 1% of the population actually does that.
Wow. Do you write down your goals?
I sure freaking do. Yeah. Not every day. Most days. Some days it gets a little too chaotic, but that's life.
Right. And that is something so simple that you can be writing in your journal, or starting off your morning, sitting outside, writing down your goals. I just started writing down my goals. I wasn't doing it before. I was doing other things. It's, up and down sometimes. I'm getting into the flow. Like I said, I had to train myself. But I have started writing down a little bit of goals. Yes.
Yeah. And it's so important to just write those thoughts down, because there's something to be said about putting it from here to paper. Like, it's just so powerful. Yeah. No matter what it is. And something else that has recently come up is, actually since the end of December, I've been learning this. It was January 1st. Stop fucking lying to yourself.
Right.
Make your goals achievable and attainable.
Yeah.
And don't make them so scary that you're starting it with fear.
That is very true.
So if your goal is to get up at 5 a.m. and go to the gym and blah, 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 but you have to be at work at 6, how likely is it that you're actually going to go to the gym at 5 a.m.? It's not. You're not going to do it because your time crunch is too small.
Yeah.
So train yourself in 15-minute increments to get up earlier and earlier and earlier. Step 1. So that you can be at the gym at 4:30.
That is great advice. Right? That's what I need to start doing.
Increments. Incremental change.
That is a great way to do it, because I do want to start waking up earlier, because I think sometimes there's not enough hours in the day. There's just not enough hours in the day. And who do I see on my Instagram feed and they're telling me what to do? They're pretty much saying, wake up earlier. Wake up earlier.
Have
Yes.
Yeah. Have a morning routine.
Yes. And
Yeah.
the morning routine, like we were talking about, I think is very important to a
So
clear mind.
important.
Yes. And I am still working on that. This doesn't
every
come
day
overnight.
I work on it.
Yeah. Like, so yeah, this takes time. It's just the mindset and working on your goals day by day, picking away at it. So
yeah. Incremental change where you're actually succeeding is so important, because as you're actually hitting that little goal,
right,
then you are building confidence and integrity, and honestly, those are the highest forms of vibration. We've talked about levels of frequency and vibration in here, and Luke Belmar actually is the one that got me onto this study, and I have dove into this a little deeper. But there is, on the frequency scale of energy and feelings, fear, guilt, and shame are at the bottom. Okay. And at the top is love. Love was the highest form of frequency. Okay. And when you approach things with love, you attract more of that. But I can't remember the exact numbers, but he was telling me, or not telling me directly, I was watching his video, that they did an experiment in a Faraday cage where nothing else can be affected. And actually something that was like, it was something ridiculous, like 100,000 times higher than love, was authenticity.
Wow.
Okay. And how can you be authentic to you if you keep lying to yourself about getting up and doing that thing? Whether, that's going to the gym, or whether that be meditating, or for me, it's cold plunging and I sit in an ice bath for 3 minutes. You have to make it obtainable so that you start compounding those little wins, so that you can feel that sense of authenticity and integrity and actually achieve that. And then as those compound, all of a sudden your goals get bigger, your capacity gets bigger. Now things are starting to flow in perfect timing. It's a process.
It is a process. And I think that personally for me, some of my goals that I were setting were a little bit too quick. So I was not reaching my goals, my little tiny goals. I wasn't like doing them in increments, and I was wearing myself out. So I need to start thinking more ethical, and I'm not going to make it to the top like right away. I'm not going to reach my goals right away. It's good things take time, right? They take time, and timing is everything. And
action.
Things happen for a reason at the perfect time. So yeah, I really feel like not going over your goals and making them achievable for yourself is a really great way to start.
Yeah. And just start small, start achievable, start winning daily. It doesn't matter. And as always, if you need some help or some guidance, or you want to be a part of a great environment, reach out to myself, or Charlene. She's normally on here. Frankie is also on social media. What's your handle on social media?
It's Camo in the Rockies.
Okay. Camo in the Rockies. Yeah. And if anybody forgets that, you can reach out to me, Tanisha Tearing, and I will send it to you. So you can also reach out to Frankie if you love her vibe and you just want to talk to her and be her friend. We love it. And as always, the best way to support us and our channel is subscribe and follow and listen and communicate. So yeah, I think that's all we have for today, but I'm really excited that you joined us.
This was amazing. This wasn't as scary as I thought. All I gotta do is yap, and I'm really good at that. So.
Exactly. And so Charlene is actually away. She's going to Costa Rica, where it's warm, and I'm a little bit jealous, just a little bit jealous. So Frankie's going to be with us again next week. So if you have an idea of something you want us to talk about, don't forget to reach out and let us know, because we could definitely bring it up. And I hope that all of you have an amazing and blessed week, and we will talk to you next week. Bye.